Here's a story from Grandpa for my three favorite little girls, Emma, Ayla, and Audrey. It's October, and I promised you a scary story every week until Halloween. We haven't done a Grumpy Monkey story in a while, and this one came to my house just in time for Halloween. What do you think Grumpy Monkey and his animal friends will be up to out in the jungle on Halloween? Something spooky, I'll bet. Here's the story. Grumpy Monkey, Don't Be Scared. Written by Suzanne Lang and illustrated by Max Lang. It was Halloween in the jungle, the spookiest night of the year. But it was also a night for treats, so Chimpanzee and his friends braved the dark in the hope that they might get some good ones. As they walked, Jim noticed how different everything looked at night. The trees looked eerie, and he kept hearing a strange knocking sound. "What's that noise?" asked Jim. "There are lots of noises in the jungle," said Porcupine. "Don't be scared." "I'm not scared," said Jim. "The only thing I'm scared of," said Leslie the giraffe, "is not getting any treats." Suddenly, a creepy cackling sound could be heard. "Just another night noise?" gulped Jim. "Someone should look behind the tree," said Norman. "Not it!" shouted Leslie. "Not it!" echoed Jim, Norman, and Warthog. "I'll do it," said Porcupine. She walked closer to the tree and closer. "Be careful," called Warthog. "It's just Hyena," Porcupine said. "Don't be scared." "I'm not scared," said Jim. "Happy Halloween," called Hyena, tossing treats to Jim and his friends. The sky grew even darker. Suddenly, something slimy wrapped itself around Jim's leg. "Something's got Jim!" Warthog screamed. "Ah!" "It's just Aardvark," said Porcupine. "Don't be scared." "I'm not scared," said Jim. "I am," said Warthog. "Pleased to meet you, and a very good Halloween to you all," Aardvark said, giving them some treats. The friends continued their walk. The wind whistled. Jim shivered. "It's getting late," he said. "Maybe we should go home." "I could do with a few more treats," said Norman. "Me too," said Porcupine. "I haven't gotten anything I like." "Tell me about it," said Warthog. "More like smell me about it," said Leslie. "Who farted?" "She who smelt it dealt it," declared Warthog. The smell was getting stronger. It smelled like rotten eggs mixed with old cabbage soup and armpits. It made Jim's eyes water. "That's no fart," said Norman. "What is it?" asked Jim. "It's just Polecat," said Porcupine. "Pole what?" asked Warthog. "Polecat," said Porcupine. "He's a night animal." "Don't be scared," said Leslie. "I'm not scared," said Jim. "Actually," said Porcupine, "you should be a little scared." "Don't come in my house!" shouted Polecat, spraying the stinkiest liquid Jim had ever smelled. "Run!" screamed Warthog. "That was close," said Norman. "You bet your butt it was," said Leslie. Jim looked around. It was so dark that he had no idea where they were, and then he heard the knocking sound again. But in the deep dark, Jim couldn't tell where the sound was coming from. "Don't be scared," said Porcupine. "It's just night noises." "I'm not scared," squeaked Jim. Suddenly, two glowing eyes flashed overhead. "Aye, aye, aye, aye!" screamed the eyes, which seemed to be darting all around. Jim couldn't take it any more. The cold, the dark, the smells, the noises, it was all too much. "I'm scared!" he screamed. "I'm really, really scared!" Jim felt something tap on his shoulder. "Don't be scared," a little voice said. "I'm Ai. The knocking and screaming were me. I was knocking on trees looking for bugs to eat. You and your friends startled me, so I screamed." I guess we both got scared, said Jim. It's okay, said Norman. Everyone feels scared sometimes. Here, have some Halloween treats, said I. Finally, some good treats, said Warthog. Jim and his friends shared the yummy treats. They took turns scaring one another. Boo! Shouted Leslie from behind a tree. Boo! Shouted Porcupine, popping out from under a pile of leaves. It was a spooky good time. Cold, dark, noisy, and smelly. Pew! Treats, said Polecat. Looks like Chimpanzee and all his friends ran away from the smell and left all of their treats there for the smelly Polecat to eat. And that's the end of the story. Just like with Chimpanzee and his friends, out in the real world, it's usually the things you don't understand that are the scariest. That's one reason to work hard at understanding things, so that there aren't so many things that will scare you. One of my all-time favorite writers, Ralph Waldo Emerson, said, "Always do what you are afraid to do." I think that makes good sense. If you're afraid of something, it's probably important. And if it's important, you should probably try to understand it. And once you understand it, you probably won't be afraid of it anymore. Plus, you will have learned about something important. It's a good approach to life. Always remember that Grandpa loves you, especially when you try to scare me. And I hope to see you soon. Boo! Did I scare you? No? Maybe next time. Bye-bye.